Now up to this point, I trust you feel comfortable solving absolute value equations, because now we're going to consider solving absolute value inequalities. And the first one we're going to look at is the absolute value of x minus 8 is less than 5. And as you just learned in this module, when you have an absolute value that's less than a positive number, it needs to be rewritten as two inequalities joined by the word and. But those inequalities cannot contain any absolute value signs. And the first inequality we're going to write will simply be, in essence, sort of dropping the absolute value signs and writing what's left. So then we have x minus 8 is less than 5 is our first inequality. And the connector is and, which you remember means intersection. And for the second inequality, we're going to take what's inside the absolute value signs, this time reversing the direction of the inequality and making the number on the other side the negative of what it was. So we have that x minus 8 is greater than negative 5. So now we'll solve each inequality separately. So for the first, we end up then with x is less than 13, adding 8 to each member. And for the second, we have then x is greater than 3, adding 8 to each side there. Now you've seen before that it's sometimes possible to take two statements joined by and to write them in a more compact form. And to help us see how that can happen in this case, what I've done is to take the second inequality here, the x greater than 3, and write it as 3 less than x, the connector and then I've taken the first inequality, x less than 13, and written it there. Now it should seem reasonable then that if 3 is less than x and x is less than 13, then we can write the following, which is a more compact form, and it means the same thing. This also then leads to a possible way to express the solution using interval notation, so we could then write parentheses 3 comma 13. And notice the parentheses are important because neither of the endpoints is included. So that is an appropriate representation of the solution, and so is this.